Good morning, students. Today, our topic is computer network, and this is chapter number 9 of your book, Sumita Arora. And in this lecture, we are going to discuss about network devices and different types of networks. So, let us start. First of all, NIC, Network Interface Card. What is Interface Card or NIC? In the list of networking devices, NIC stands for the first place. Without this device, networking cannot be done. So it is a very important and essential part as far as computer networking is concerned. Okay. And this is also known as network adapter card, Ethernet card, or LAN card. And NIC allows our PC to communicate with other PCs. And usually all modern PCs have integrated NIC in their motherboard. But NIC are also available separately. So if you want to connect, if you are to connect your computer, or you want to communicate your computer to another PC, then using NIC card, it is very easy. It is a network interface card. It provides a network to your computer systems, and this is also known as LAN card or Ethernet card or network adapter card also. So for desktop or server system, they are available in adapter format. Which can be plugged into available slots of motherboard. And for laptop or other small size devices, they are available in PCMCIA, it means Personal Computer Memory Card International Association card format, which can be inserted into a PCMCIA slots. So three important things regarding to network interface card. First of all, it is a very essential and important device as far as networking concerned into our computer systems, and it is also known as network adapter card or Ethernet card or LAN card also. And most more modern in modern PCs, it is essential part or integrated with a motherboard, but these are separately available also. And in laptop, they are available in PCMCIA card format, which can be inserted into a PCMCIA slots also. And for desktop or server system, they are available in adapter format. So this is the diagram related to NIC card. These are the different types of network interface card. You can easily see here. This is PCMCIA or laptop network interface card available in laptops, and this is wireless NIC, and these are other different types of network interface card. You can easily see that. And they are connected to motherboard of your computer system. Our next topic is IP address and MAC address. First of all, MAC address is known as media access control address, and it is the unique address. It is also a physical address, and this is the address marked on NIC, network interface card, and it is provided by manufacturer of NIC. Okay, so these are some important points regarding to MAC address. Second is IP address, internet protocol address. It is a logical address, and as we know that MAC address is a physical address, IP address is a logical address, and it is provided by internet service provider such as Idea, Airtel, or Jio. These are the internet service providers, so they provide IP address. And second thing is IP address can be changed, but MAC address cannot be changed. So that is the basic difference between IP address and the MAC address. Now let us take its points one by one. Here, as you can see here, the IP address is assigned by the network administrator or internet service provider. So IP address can also be assigned by network administrator, okay, or it is provided by internet service provider also. And while the MAC address is assigned by the manufacturer of the NIC here. If a computer is transferred from one network to another, its IP address gets changed, whereas the MAC address remains the same. So IP address can be changed, but MAC address cannot be changed. If we switch our computer from one network to another network, then its IP address of course change, but its MAC address cannot be changed. Its MAC address remains same. Now there is a network device known as modem, and it stands for modulator and demodulator. Modulator and demodulator. So what is a modem? Basically, it is a type of hardware device that converts between analog and digital data in real time for two-way network communication. So there is a process of analog to digital and digital to analog conversion, which is done by modem. So modem is a hardware device, or we can say that a network device also. So there are two processes, modulation and demodulation. So the part that is modulator, a part which is modulator, there are two parts also, modulator and demodulator. So what is the process is known modulation and demodulation, and parts are modulator and demodulator. So what is the role of modulator? Modulator converts information from digital mode to analog form. Okay, it means conversion from digital to analog is done by modulator, and just reverse means analog to digital conversion is done by demodulator. There are two processes, modulation and demodulation, or two parts, modulator and demodulator. Modulator converts information from digital to analog, and demodulator converts from analog to digital conversion. At the transmitting end, and as you see here, the transmitting end and the demodulator converts the same from analog to digital at receiving end. So there are two ends when we connect a computer to a network, transmitting end and receiving end. So at these end there are two processes, analog to digital conversion and digital to analog conversion. So this is done by modulator, this is done by modem. Okay, so modem stands for modulator and demodulator. In simple language, modem is a device that is used to connect with internet, and technically it is device which enables digital data transmission to be transmitted over telecommunication lines. So when we transmit data over telecommunication line, it means the data is sent in form of analog signals, and we receive the data must be converted into a 0-1 form, means digital form. Then this is done by demodulator, means analog data is converted to digital form. And there are two types of modems, internal modem and external modem. Internal modem is available as interface card for desktop and PCMCIA card for laptops. We need to install it on available slot of motherboard. In comparison with external modem, these are inexpensive, as these modem uses computer CPU for data encoding and decoding. Okay, and we have to purchase them modems separately. Second is external modem. External modem is a separate device that has its own CPU and memory. So the basic difference between internal and external modem is that external modem has its own CPU and memory, while internal modem uses computer system CPU and memory. So internal modem are less expensive as compared to external modem. Now you can easily see that these are the different types of modems. internal, wireless, cable modem, ISDM modem. These are different types of modems. USB modem also. Okay, these are the different types of modems by which you can connect a computer to internet. So these are the different types of modems here. Our next topic is LAN, MAN, WAN. These are the different types of networks and very popular type of network, and it is very important question for your examination. And most of the time the difference will be asked between LAN and MAN or MAN and WAN, or a comparative study will be asked among these three. So what is LAN, MAN, WAN? First of all, full form. Just write their full form. LAN stand for local area network, MAN stand for metropolitan area network, and WAN stand for wide area network. So these are the classification of network on the basis of the distance, how much area they cover. So first of all, LAN. LAN basically cover a building, office, school, or any house. MAN basically metropolitan city, or we can say that multiple buildings are there, then we use MAN. And if we want to connect two countries or more than two countries, multiple countries, or a large state, then you can use WAN. So when we talk about large countries or the different states, then it may be possible that a state, size of a state, particularly more than a size of a country, then how we can say that in that case MAN is applicable or WAN is applicable. For example, size of Uttar Pradesh, that is the state of our country, is much more than a size of another country such as Bhutan. So we are so in that case you can apply MAN or WAN. So basically the idea behind that is the distance. So when we talk about the MAN, it means metropolitan area network. It means if you want to connect network within a metropolitan city, then we just use MAN. Okay, and if we want to connect two or more countries or city or states, we use just WAN. So you can learn these topics in terms of their distance. If the distance is between 10 meters to 1000 meters, it means 1 kilometer, then you can easily use LAN. If the distance lies between 5 kilometer 50 kilometers, without any hesitation you can use MAN. And distance is more than 50 kilometers, or it is around this, you can easily see that, then you can use WAN. Okay, so now one question is raised in our mind that between these two, what could we use, MAN or WAN? So it is the basically the practical aspects. Between 10 to 1000 meter, it means within 1 kilometer, you can all easily use LAN. You can use LAN up to 2 kilometers or even up to 5 kilometers, only depend upon you. But when distance increase and it increase more than 5 kilometers, okay, so less than 5 kilometer you always prefer LAN. But if the distance is always more than 5 kilometers, then you can use MAN up to 50 kilometers. And if it's more than the 50 kilometers or more than the 100 kilometers, you can say that if the distance is more than 100 kilometers, then you can always use WAN, wide area network. So this is the range and example of LAN, MAN, WAN here. And there is another network called PAN, known as personal area network. So what is personal area network? Within a room, within two devices attached, within two devices. For example, just if you want to just send your data from your mobile to your laptop, Then there is a type of network, and suppose you can send data using your hotspot mode, then in that case it is called as PAN, personal area network. So within a room or less than 10 meters, okay, using your Bluetooth device or using your mobile hotspot, then it is called the personal area networks. So these are the four different types of network: PAN, LAN, MAN and WAN. Always remember that less than 10 meter we use PAN, between 10 meter to 1 kilometer we always use LAN, and 5 kilometer to 50 kilometers we use MAN, or we can say that up to 100 kilometer we can use MAN, but more than 100 kilometer we always use WAN, wide area network. Okay, and the example of LAN are Ethernet and Wi-Fi. MAN used in cable TV network, and example of WAN is internet. Here one thing is should be remembered that Wi-Fi is an example of LAN, and personal hotspot of a mobile is an example of, or Bluetooth is an example of PAN. Next important topic is transmission media, and there are two types of transmission media. These are wired and unwired, also called as guided media and unguided media. So now the important question is how we can send data from one device to another device. Now there are two methods: using wire or without using wire. It means wireless. So when we talk about wired, we talk about guided media, and there are three different and popular guided media. These are twisted pair cable, coaxial cable and fiber optics cable. And there are three important wireless media also: radio waves, microwaves and infrared rays. Okay, satellite is another example of wireless media. Bluetooth is an example of wireless media, and these are the example of wireless media in which there is no requirement of wire. And again, wireless media can be divided into two different categories which are not mentioned here: long range and short range. Radio wave and microwave are radio wave, microwave and satellite basically uh, falls in the category of long range unguided media, and infrared, Bluetooth, these are in short range wireless media. So let us talk about these one by one. First of all, twisted pair cable. As the name suggests, twisted pair cable. It is the most common form of wiring of a cable. Let us see its diagram first. You can easily understand. These are the twisted pair cable, and you can easily see that two cables are there and they are connected to each other and twisted also. And this is the conductor, and this is called the insulator. And why they are twisted to each other? This is very important. So it is the most common form of wiring of data and used in communication applications. Here two identical wires are wrapped together in a double helix. The bleeding of a signal from one wire to another, and which can corrupt signal and cause network errors. This form of signal interference is called the crosstalk. To reduce the crosstalks, wires are twisted in pairs in twisted pair cables. So the use of the twisted pair cables or pairs are twisted to each other because to reduce crosstalk. And what is crosstalk? Crosstalk means bleeding of a signal from one wire to another. And what is the effect of crosstalk? Basically it corrupts signal and cause network errors. So to reduce this error, basically two wires are twisted to each other. So that's why it is called the twisted pair cable. Then coaxial cable, and next important thing regarding to twisted pair cable, they are used in telecommunication or telephone lines. So these are outdated and not used nowadays because their range is very short, and the data transfer speed is very much less as compared to coaxial cable and optical fiber cable. Next is a coaxial cable. They are very much used in LAN, local area network, and TV cable network also. This is the diagram of coaxial cable. You can see that there are two conductor, inner conductor and outer conductor. Outer conductor is also called as shield, and insulator is there, and after that there is a plastic cover which cover all of these things, and this is used to connect LAN and TV cable networks also. So here the role of shield is very important. So let us understand the points regarding to coaxial cable one by one. Coaxial cable consists of a solid copper wire core surrounded by a plastic cladding shield in a wire mesh. Shield prevents the noise of the redirection to the ground. So that is a shield. And the work of the shield is to prevent the noise by redirecting it to the ground. It consists of a solid wire core surrounded by one or more foil or wire shields, each separated by some kind of plastic insulator. The inner core carries the signal and the shield provides the ground. That is very important line. Has high electrical properties and is suitable for high speed transmission, high speed communication used for TV signals. So there are two important parts: inner core or inner conductor which carries the signal, and outer conductor that is also known as shield, and the work of the shield is to provide the ground, or we can say that it prevents the noise by redirecting it to the ground. And they are used in high speed communication, basically for TV signals. Next is optical fiber cable. That is the optical fiber cable. Again there is a core, cladding and coating of there. Then let us see what are the main points regarding to the fiber optical cable or optical fiber cable. Optical fiber cable consists of a thin glass fibers that can carry information at frequency in the visible light spectrum and beyond. Okay, and the typical optical fiber consists of a very narrow strand of glass called the core. So that is the core. That is the core, and this core is basically a glass or plastic through which the light travels. It is nothing but only the glass or plastic through which the light travels. That is why it is called the optical fibers cables. Next is cladding. Cladding is there. So cladding means it basically covers the core and reflect light back to the core. It reflects light back to the core. And third is coating. That is protective coating, protect the fiber. So its role is to protect the fiber. So three different important parts: core, cladding and coating. And the typical optical fiber consists of a very narrow strand of glass called the core. Second point. Around the core is a concentric layer of glass called the cladding. And the core diameter is 62.5 microns. Here my 1 micron is equal to 10 to the power minus 6 meters. And a cladding has a diameter of 125 microns. Coating is cladding. Coating the cladding is the protective coating of plastic. It is called a jacket. It is also called a jacket. And an important characteristic of fiber optic is refraction. Refraction is the characteristic of material to either pass or reflect light. Okay, so these are the points regarding to optical fiber cable. Next are unguided media. First of all, microwave. In long range wireless communication, shortest is radio wave, then microwave and then satellite. So let us talk about microwave first. Microwaves are electromagnetic waves having frequency range from 0.3 to 300 gigahertz. And microwave signals are used to transmit data without cable. That's why it is found in the non-guided media. and microwaves are transmitted from the transmitters placed at very high towers to the receivers at the long distance. And the microwave signals are similar to the radio and television signals and are used in long distance communications. And three important parts of it: transmitter, receiver, and the atmosphere. Okay, and note down its range, 0.3 to 300 gigahertz. That is very important. Next is radio wave. As I told you that in long range wireless communication, shortest is radio wave, then microwave, and then after satellite communication. So the range of radio waves are 300 kilohertz to 10 gigahertz, and microwave you can easily see that 0.3 to 300 gigahertz. So microwave have more range as compared to radio wave. That is a very important difference, and they are widely used for communications both indoors and outdoors. They are used in cordless phones, AM and FM radio, broadcast, garage door operators on garage door openers, etc. So this is used in uh, FM radio broadcast or cordless phones, indoor and outdoors, and garage door openers. These are the example of the radio waves transmissions, and range is 300 kilohertz to 10 gigahertz. Advantage: relatively inexpensive than wired media. It offers ease of communications over difficult terrain, and these waves are omnidirectional. So means that the transmission and receiving antennas need not to be aligned. That is the main advantage of radio waves. Last is a satellite microwave or the satellite transmission. It is an extension of microwave, you can say that. So satellite microwave transmission is used to transmit signal throughout the world, and this system satellite in orbit about 50,000 kilometer above the earth. And satellite communication, microwave signals at 6 gigahertz is transmitted from the transmitter on the earth through the satellite position in the space, and the satellite amplifies weak signals and transmits it back to the earth at the frequency less than 600 gigahertz. So this is the satellite microwave, and this is the diagram. You can easily see that. So distance is 5,000 kilometers here. Okay, and frequency is 6 gigahertz. Advantage: area coverage is too large, and disadvantage: high investment. So for short distance we prefer radio wave. Among different non-wired or unguided media, radio waves has smallest range, then microwave, and then satellite. Infrared rays, Bluetooth, these are all are the parts of short distance unguided media, which will be discussed in our next video. So most of the time the difference between radio waves and microwaves is asked in examination so many number of times. And last is satellite communication. So at satellite communication you can easily see that frequency less than 6 gigahertz is used. So that is all about of today's lecture. So I hope you like this video, and when you learn about when you write concept regarding to the computer network in an examination, just write to the points. For example, in terms of NIC card, the purpose, okay, and the types must be mentioned, as and also in the case of IP address and MAC address. And in terms of cables or wired media or unwired media, you can write the difference between wired media and unwired media in terms of their frequency, in terms of their range, and in terms of their technology. So I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching this video.